Hey folks, we're going to get started on actually putting together our virtual automata today. Start off on this major project. So you're going to need to get into your Onshape account, and in there, from our Trammel toy, you should have this folder that says your last name, first initial, IED semester 2. We created that. For that, in there is your Trammel toy, but I want you to go to where it says My Onshape here, and right click on that folder, click on share, and make sure that it is still shared with me and that I can edit. If that's not true, click this edit button and make sure that I can edit. Or if you never shared it with me, you have to share it with me down here by putting my email address in here. All right, we're going to go in there into this folder. Now you have your Trammel toy, and we're going to create a new document. So we're going to create a document. We're going to call this one Automata. Somehow got A-U-T-O-M-A-T-A. Automata is how we pronounce that. Okay, so we've got a new document going in there. Now here's the good news. Most of this stuff is going to be pretty easy to build. So it'll get a little different in the assembly. So we're going to build all of the part pieces for the box in one part studio. So here we go. Let's go ahead and sketch on the top view. Doesn't really matter this time. I'm going to hit P to turn off planes, N to view normal. And we're going to make several rectangles that are going to be the pieces of this box. So let's start with over here. You're just going to make them in random places. The first one is going to be 6 inches long, and it is going to be 4 inches. Yes, 4 inches tall. Okay, so a 6 by 4. That's going to be the back. Now let's make another one nearby that is going to be 6 by 4.2. Because the thickness of this material is about 4.2, so I hope this will come clear in a little bit. We're going to make yet another one that is 6 and 4.2. One will be the top, one will be the bottom. And we're going to make one more random that is 4 by 4. 4 by 4. All right. Now we need to, in one of these, we're going to put a hole right here in the middle of this one. So hover over until you find some midpoints. Okay, and then we're going to click circle. We're going to hover around until we get right in the middle. See those two lines? Click, pull outward, and we're lined up. Click again, and we get to put in, it's 5/16 is the size of the hole. 5 divided by 16. So, and there is our hole in the middle of that, which is now lined up in the middle. So that's good. That's the sides. Now the top is going to need some 1/4 inch holes. And so we're going to line that up with the middle and come in about, I don't know, an inch or so. Click and pull, and we're going to make that also 5/16. No, I'm sorry, 1/4, 0.25. And now we need to make a pattern out of that. So I'm going to hit escape to get out of the command. I want to go up here to linear pattern, click on that circle, and we want, right now the distance is 1. Let's try changing that to 0.5 and see what happens. 0.5, and I need to have 6 total of them. Right now there's 3. I want 6. I have to double click on that. I want 6. Okay, now it could have been bigger than 0.5, so let's go back and change that. Let's try 0.75. See how that looks. That's looking pretty good. Let's try just 0.8. I like that a little bit better. Okay, so it doesn't matter exactly where you started as long as we're about the same distance in from each side, and we have 6 total holes. And then we'll say, okay. Oops, I finished the sketch. That's fine. Actually, no, it's not fine. Sorry, I want to go back into that. I'm going to double click sketch 1. I have one more thing that I want to make. And over here, we're going to make another rectangle here that is 1.5 inches long, 1.5, and 3/4 of an inch thick, 0.75. All right. Now, this is going to have some holes in it also. This time, I'm going to line up, and we're going to make a 5/16 inch hole over here. Whoops, I'm trying to make a rectangle. Let's try that again with a circle. Whoops, I accidentally clicked on there. Let's try that again. I meant to line up. Hovered over the center point, click 5/16. 5 divided by 16. And we're going to do another one lined up with the other side over here. And it's also going to be 5 divided by 16. And these two are going to be located, we're going to use the dimension tool, a 1/4 inch from each end. So 0.25 from that end, and this one will be 0.25 from the other end. Okay, good. Now I thought those should turn black because I lined them up. Oh, this whole thing can be anywhere though. So, okay, we're all good. Now we're going to use this sketch and do a whole bunch of different things. Extrusion number 1 is going to be the bottom. I guess this is the bottom because it's the 2 blank longer rectangles we're going to click, and the inside of this side, not including the hole, because we're going to leave that circle as a hole. Now, it's making 3 different parts, and that's okay. All right, so, but we're only going to go to a thickness of 0.2, which is about the actual thickness of the plywood. All right, now, sketch went away, and that's okay. Let's hover over here and see what's what. Okay, now I need to remember which is which here. So part 3, the one that's square, we're going to rename, right click, rename, call that side. Okay. Part, now we got to remember which is which. I'm going to move myself here. Whoops, come on, move. And use the measure tool because I don't remember now which one was the longer one. That was 4.2. Okay, so this is the bottom. The one that's 4.2 is the bottom. Make sure you don't mix them up. So I'm going to rename that, call it bottom. And that will leave this one that is, if we use the measure tool, it will only be 4 inches high. And we're going to call that the back. Okay, now we're going to turn back on our sketch by turning on the visibility. Go to extrude. We're going to extrude not the holes, but everything around the holes. Now this one, this is the top. The top is 0.5. It's a little thicker than the rest of the pieces are. Okay, and we're going to rename this as the top. All right, now you can leave them different sizes if you're different colors if you want, but I would prefer you make them look kind of like a box by editing the appearance. Oh, we can do this with all of them. I forgot. I can actually click on all 4 of those, right click, and edit the appearance. I just thought about this. I'm not going to do that right now because I still have another part to make. that I am going to do all of them at the same time. All right, so let's take this last piece and extrude around the holes, and this one is going to be 3/4 of an inch, 0.75. All right, and good. Now we still have the sketch on, you can see it. So this crank is going to do two different things. So I am going to extrude this one. Now it's a little, I need that one down there in the bottom where the sketch is, not up here. Okay, because I'm not extruding this, I'm extruding that. And it's going to come out, and this is going to be the crank. It's going to be the handle on this little crank here. So let's see, what maybe let's try 2 inches and see what it looks like. That's a little too much. Let's try 1.5. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, now we're going to do another extrusion. By the way, we should have had it, if I go to this last extrude, it should say add, because I want it to be part of this same part. Good. Now we're going to extrude, do 2 more extrusions. We're going to extrude this other one is going to go 2 different ways. And we're going to go out, but we're only going to go 0.75 and make it just match. Good. Notice that it kind of closed that up as if it's not even there anymore. And then we're going to go the other direction. Extrude, and we're going to go from, oops, sorry guys, let's flip this around so you can see a little better. So we're going to go the opposite side, that circle. Now I want to flip the direction because I want to go the other way, and I want it to go all the way through the box. So I'm going to make it 6, let's just make it 7 inches long. It'll protrude out the other end of the box, and again we're adding it. And that's fine because the real crank does go all the way through the box and pokes out the other side a little bit also. All right, so now we're going to take all of these parts. Oops, let's rename part, the one we just made, as crank. And now we're going to click on all of these parts down here. Say edit appearance for these 5 parts. And make something that looks like, you know, wood-ish colors to you. Kind of like that one. Again, you don't have to. You can make it a different color if you want, but let's make them wood-ish. And I'm going to finally turn off sketch 1. And now I've got these parts, and they're all there in this one part studio. Now I'm going to do one more. And we're going to sketch. It says, what sketch plane do I want? I can bring them all back. It doesn't matter really which one you choose. We sketched on the top before, so let's go ahead and do that again. Sketch on the top, N for normal. And anywhere you want, we're going to make a washer. So it's just 2 circles. Click. The first one is going to be 5/16, 5/16, enter. And there's going to be another one that is concentric to that. So you're clicking on the same center point and dragging out. It's going to look about like that. So let's make that one 0.75. Enter. Okay. Finish your sketch. We're going to now extrude the donut part, the washer, and let's just make it 0.1. It's a little more than a 1/16 of an inch thick. Okay, and we're going to call that part, rename washer. And you can leave it whatever color you want, but I'm going to try and make this authentic and make it look kind of like a washer. All right, very good. All right, good. We've got our box parts. Now we're ready to start putting it together. All right, so here we go. We're going to put this thing together, and this is actually pretty easy to do. You're going to go to your assembly down here, which already should be there, and we're going to insert. And we're going to insert. It's pretty easy. We'll insert Part Studio 1, which is going to give us all of those same pieces that we had. And click. Then we also need to click one more side and one more washer. All right. So we've got all our pieces. Now we need to figure out which one the bottom is, that one. And we're going to put those. Now I know that's weird that the top is thicker than the bottom, but there's a reason for that we'll talk about later. Now, just like when we build the actual automata, the way this goes together is important. So we're going to take the bottom and we're going to attach the back to the bottom. Now, it's been a while since we've done assemblies, so I want to remind you of how these things work. So we're going to do a fastened mate. Okay. Now, it is important that you're zooming in and out, and we're going to choose the top back corner. You have to make sure that that little blue line sticks the way you want it to go, both in this one and the other one. Click there. And now I'm going to go to this corner. I have to think about where the corners are going to line up. And it's going to be right there. Now, notice that it doesn't go the way I want it to do. I need it to flip around. And I just realized I should have fixed the bottom in place first. So I'm going to click check and see if it looks the way I want it to look. Now, move the bottom away for me. I'm going to undo that and redo it and fix the bottom in place so it doesn't move around on me. So I'm going to undo. This time, before I get started, I'm going to fix the bottom in place. So go over to the bottom, right click and say fix. That way it's not going to move. Everything else will move. It won't. Okay, and I'm going to do that again. Let's do that again. Zoom way in, fasten mate. Make sure that blue line faces the way I want it to go. Same way over here. See, it's facing the wrong way. Now it's facing the right way, but notice it's flat. I need to flip it. Wrong way, wrong way. There's the right way, I think, although it might be flipping the bottom around. Nope, we got it that time. So this should be the bottom. You might have to try that a couple times, and I've got the back sitting on top of it. That's good. All right, now the sides are going to be on either side, fitting kind of inside this L shape. So we'll do that one next. I'm going to choose there, and I'm going to choose here. You have to just kind of learn how these mates work. Good. Now let's do the other side. This time I'm going to kind of flip around, choose here and here, click. Should be where I want it to be. Whoops, nope, it's not right. So I got to flip my direction. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I got to flip my axis. There we go. Let's make sure it's in the right place. Good. All right, so I've got my two sides. I've got the next one is my top. I think I'll do that by the front to the front. That one and that one. Did I get that right? I believe so. All right, and we've got our box. All right, now the washers are going to go on the outside. When you guys physically make these, you'll kind of learn that the washers will help things spin a little bit. So I want that attached to that. Now, is that going? I can tell it's going inside. Whoops. So I'm going to flip my direction so it sticks to the outside. Good. And the other washer, wherever it is, where is it? It's way over there. Is going to be fastened there. When you're doing assemblies, you got to learn how to zoom in and out to there, and it's still flipped the wrong way, sticking out. There we go. And finally, the last one is going to be a revolute and not a fastened, because I want the crank to spin. Last one, let us do the revolute mate. And we're going to find that circle right there and attach it to the outside of this washer. Oops, got to flip it around if it's not going the right way, and good. And I should now be able to take this and grab it and spin it around, and I can. All right, good enough for this time. We will talk about cams and motion and all that stuff soon here on the next one, I think, or whenever we get done talking about cams. All right, guys, looking good. We'll see you next time.